Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Savvy Cast. This is Jamie, and I'm delighted that you're here today. I am going to do a solo episode today because I'm getting many questions from especially my Instagram friends messaging me asking if I'm pleased that I chose marble. Those who have followed my renovation, I did a kitchen and bath renovation. It is finally complete. I could not be happier. If you've been following, you know that every stone, every tile is marble. And I'm going to give you my honest feedback. I've had it. Let's see, we've been finished with our marble and been living in it for probably, this is our going into the second month. So we've lived with it. We've had it get dirty. We've cleaned it. So I can speak to it, I think, very intelligently. And I'm just going to give you my honest opinion because I went into my choice of marble with some trepidation. And I will even tell you that the day they laid my slab in the kitchen, they did everything in the kitchen first. I looked at it and I thought, oh, what have I done? That is beautiful, but what have I done? I will never be able to keep that clean. Let me just rewind and just tell you what I've got where you'll sort of have an idea of the look. And then I'm going to put pictures and all of the details in the show notes. But what I have in the kitchen on the countertops and in the bathroom countertops, I have the same marble on the countertops in both places. It's Bianco Rhino. It is from Namibia, and there may be some Bianco Rhino that comes from another region, but mine was from Africa. It is very white. You might go to a stone or a slab place, and they may call it mystery white, but either way, it is very white, and it does not have the typical veining that you see in a lot of marble. It has marbling. It has these almost like cloudy, big streaks of, not even streaks. It's just like you have waves of clouds running through it. It's just marbling. And the marbling is a creamy to grayish, very light. So it has a very distinctive look of solid white. But then when you look at the marbling, it's just creamy and a little darker. And it's almost like in some places you can see through it. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. And the finish that I got on the countertops in both places, I got it honed. Of course, you can choose honed or polished, and you can also get leathered. Leathered is more, it's got a little bit of a texture, little rough. And they brought a leathered initially in my bathroom, and it didn't match the other slab. There was just a little mix up. And I will just tell you, I thought that I wanted leathered. I had chosen leathered for the bath. And then when it got there and it didn't match the other side, I was so glad that they agreed to take it back and bring me the exact thing that was in the kitchen, the honed, because I did not like the leathered as much. It just didn't have to me the look that I wanted with just a good honed marble. Honed is, as you probably know, it's just sort of a flat, just no polish. My advice, if you're going to get marble in your kitchen, especially on the countertop where you will be working, making food, having a lot of, products, food products, I would go with honed. I think it's more forgiving. And I just feel like, and based on the recommendations that I had from my wonderful stone expert at Surface One, Mary Margaret, and actually I talked with everyone at Surface One at length before I made this choice. And they do recommend that if you're going to be cooking on it a lot, that honed is just a better, more practical choice. But I personally love the look of honed. Now, for my backsplash in the kitchen, I chose a polished marble. Now, I will have to tell you, of every single thing in my house, in my kitchen, as far as just the aesthetics, I love my backsplash with my countertop. I love it so much. I walk in my kitchen and it just makes my heart sing. I just love it. And I'm going to share all of the exact details because I've actually had some Instagram friends who have, at least one and maybe two, who have already purchased this exact tile for their backsplash. And I'm going to give you a little backstory on how I got it. I had been ad nauseum to every tile place, stone shop, and I thought I had seen everything. Tile was my absolute hardest decision that I made in the whole process. I thought that I had seen everything. Well, I was getting to the point where I was on like my 10th or 11th choice. And I was doing an Instagram story and I had what I thought I was going to use. I already had my marble in. This is the backsplash to go in the kitchen. So I put it up against the honed marble on the countertop and I said, y'all, I love this. I think I'm going to use it. It was a lovely tile, but it was man-made. It looked like a mother of pearl, but it was just a man-made material. And because a lot of my Instagram friends are designers or decorators, and I welcome this, they will DM me with what they think about something if they think I'm making a mistake. So I had a friend who DM'd me and she said, Jamie, that countertop that you have, the marble, is so lovely and it's natural stone. Do you really want to put that man-made tile with your natural stone? So I'm like, nope, not going to do that. So I reached out to another Insta friend who showed me a marble that she's a designer, that she puts in a lot of her homes. I had never, ever seen it before, but she sent me pictures and I fell in love. It is from Artistic Tile. I think they're the only ones who make this. And according to Courtney at Triton, who helps me with all of my stone, she said that Artistic Tile is sort of they're the pinnacle of tile. But it was not outrageous at all. But the name of the tile is Split Joint Dolomite. And it's from Artistic Tile. I will link it all in the show notes. And I will also tell you that it has to be ordered through like a tile company or someone to the trade. And she can order based on your measurements and she can ship to you. She's already done it for one or two of my Instagram friends. And I don't think it's outrageous at all, but it is a polished tile and it's split joint. So it has texture and it's not smooth and even, but it's polished. So you've got texture and you've got polish and it's got a little bling, but it's subtle and it looks absolutely perfect behind the very soft honed finish of the countertop. So if you are on the fence about what to do in your kitchen, I'm going to share pictures. I would be thrilled if any of you use any of mine. I just love sharing everything because I think if we all even use the same products, it's never going to look the same. So I'm happy to share, but I'm thrilled with that marble. And I will tell you, the split joint Dolomite backsplash in the kitchen, I also used that to tile the back of my coffee station. So thrilled that I did that, y'all. It makes the coffee station like a point of interest and a place that I can serve guests coffee and it looks pretty. Before that, I just had the coffee maker on the countertop. It was always a mess. but I have the Dolomite backsplash in the coffee station. And then I got the electrician to put lighting. So the coffee station has the lighting and the backsplash. So it just glistens. And then I've just got pretty coffee cups, and, I got a nice new coffee maker that's white. Then I have my Nespresso, and it's one of my favorite places. So I'll share all of that as well. So that is my kitchen marble situation. So I've got the honed countertops, the split joint Dolomite backsplash. And now we're going to move to the bathroom. Now, everything in the kitchen, the marble in the kitchen and the bath, all of my marble slab came from Surface One. And if you are in Birmingham, you're very familiar with Surface One. They're probably the largest. They're wonderful. Mary Margaret is your girl. If you go to Surface One, please use her. I could not love her anymore. She is wonderful. So highly recommend her, but they're all great. Okay, so in the bathroom, all of my tile, and I think I've got the tile on the floor, and then the tile in the shower. There's two marble tiles, and the floor tile, which is a recycled glass. Okay, I'm having to think through this, guys. All of the marble tile that's in the bathroom came from Floor and Decor. And guys, I will tell you, Floor and Decor saved the day for me. If you go most places and you have to order tile, it's typically not in stock, maybe Home Depot or Lowe's, but that's not the tile that you're going to want probably if you're doing a major renovation. Number one, Floor and Decor has almost everything that you can imagine, and they have stock, and you can return. You can return half boxes. Oh my goodness, guys, I cannot tell you, I literally knew everyone there by name. We were all best friends by the time it was over. I know sometimes they probably hated to see me coming because I literally would buy the tile, like for instance, the bathroom floor. I changed that 2 times after buying all of the tile to go on the bathroom floor. So it was easy to take it back, but it was a lot of tile. Zane had to help. So, I know most of you probably aren't as, crazy like that as I am, but they are wonderful. They have a great system as far as keeping up with all of your purchases. Of course, you want to keep your receipts if you ever think you're going to return something like that. But they saved the day because I went through several cycles of changing my mind. And because all the bathroom was from Floor and Decor, it worked out perfectly. And I ended up with exactly what I wanted in the end. It takes me a while to work through things. I might choose something and then change, but Floor and Decor, fabulous. Okay, so what I did on the floor of the bathroom is an 18 by 18 honed marble. And I'm going to have to look back on my Floor and Decor receipts to tell you all like the specific names, but it's an 18 by 18, and we laid it on the diagonal, and it's exquisite, and it is honed. Now, I would highly recommend, I know polished marble floors are beautiful. I was very worried because there were some beautiful polished options, but I was very worried about the slip hazard or the fall hazard. So I went with honed, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So where I went with polished was in the shower. And I love my polished marble in the shower. I think it's like 6 by 12. And it's either ocean or Sahara. But anyway, it's so beautiful. And it's polished. Now, I also chose a mosaic. I love my mosaic. It is beautiful. So I'm going to share that with you all. It just goes together beautifully. And I'm really surprised because I am not a decorator. That's not my thing, but I just went back so many times. I literally gave birth to that bathroom and it turned out great. And I'm happy to share. So I'll share all of that. And then for the for the shower floor, I chose this penny it's like little dots the size of pennies, and it's recycled glass that looks like marble. And the reason I chose that is because the floor of the shower, I think, needs to be just almost impervious to any kind of cleaner. You can pour bleach on this if there's some kind of something that you get on the floor. You're going to want to be more cautious with the real marble that's on the walls and on the floor of the bathroom. But I chose that penny tile, recycled glass. It's beautiful. It goes with everything. So that is the situation. I do want to point something out. If you're doing a bathroom remodel and you're going to put marble on your floor, this is a regret that I have. I had planned to do heated floors, and we got into the project, and I was spending probably over in many areas. And I thought, you know what? I'm just not going to fool that heated floor. So I told Paul to cancel it. I said, let's just don't do it. That was a mistake. And let me tell you why. Marble is cold. It's very cold. And y'all, if you're cold natured like I'm always cold. So walking on a marble floor and you're already cold natured, you're cold. And a heated floor would have been a fabulous decision. And I regret that I changed that. I do have a rug near the tub, which is a freestanding tub. So you can add warmth with rugs, but that's just a do-over that I wish I could do. But the choice of a heated floor is something that you're going to have to decide before the floor is laid. Otherwise, you have to bust up the floor, because that's done. The coils are put down before the floor. So, okay. So that's all about my marble. That's the marble that I have, the marble that I love. I would choose every single thing, exactly the same marble over again. I'm going to tell you about the cleaning. Guys, when I tell you marble is easier to clean than anything I've ever had, I'm not joking. For the kitchen countertops, in the sink, I keep a bowl of warm water, and it sits there for hours, so it's not always warm, but I just start with warm water with a tiny, tiny drop or two of dish detergent, which I use Dawn. And that's all you do. You just wipe it with that, and it just dries on its own. This is the key to marble working in your home. And guys, y'all know, if you know me at all, I cook. I'm always in that kitchen. I sling food left and right. I drop eggs on top of it. I have spilled, and this is one of the worst. This will stain so quickly, but I've spilled a jar of sun-dried tomatoes, that oil and that acidic tomato. But whatever it is, immediately wipe it up and then wipe it off with that soapy water. That is all I've done. And guys, my marble looks beautiful. I would say to everyone who is like I was, do not be afraid of marble. Y'all, it's God's creation. It's natural. It's so beautiful. It's so exquisite. Now, if you know yourself and you just know it would drive you crazy, then don't get it. But I thought at one point in my life that that's how I would be. And I chose quartz, and I liked it, but I never loved it. And I've had both. I have had quartz, London gray honed. It was lovely. I enjoyed it, but it did not make my heart flutter when I walked into the kitchen. When I walk into my kitchen now and I see that marble, it literally makes my heart flutter. I love it. So you just have to decide, are you so practical at whatever season of your life you're in, which this is a good thing. Decide, is practicality more important, or are you in a season of life where you're like, I want my kitchen to just make my heart sing, and I'm going to do what it takes to take care of the marble. I would say, if that's where you are, do not hesitate to get marble. You will love it every single day you walk in your kitchen. Okay, so that's how I clean the countertops. And I really don't do anything to the backsplash unless something splatters. And I will say, when I cook on my cooktop, especially if I cook on one of the eyes that's near the backsplash, maybe spaghetti sauce or meat sauce, when it starts simmering, it might splash out. And then I immediately have to get that up because the backsplash has a grout. So I try to always just get everything up immediately. And that is all I've done. And I haven't had any problems. Okay. So cleaning it. Okay. Now, as far as cleaning the bathroom, same thing with the countertops. I have spilled a bottle of makeup. I have dripped self-tanner on the marble floor. All I do is immediately get them up with a wet rag with just a little soap. Nothing has stained, nothing. As for the shower with the polished marble, this is what I do. I will say, just the season of life that we're in right now, we have precious people that we love who clean for us every other week. I do not clean anything in between. I mean, I'll tidy up or whatever, but I will just say my sweet Maria cleans the shower. And so I go 2 weeks only doing what I'm about to tell you. I don't think you have to clean as much as you think you do. I think unless you get something dirty or you've cleaned your dog in the shower and there's dirt, you can get by with doing pretty much what I'm about to tell you. And I read this from a blogger. Oh my goodness, what was it? I believe it was Driven by Decor. And she talked about her marble and how she cleaned it. And she said, basically, in between when I clean, just with a marble cleaner or whatever you choose, it just needs to be something that is marble safe. But the most important thing is very, very simple. You can order it off Amazon. You can get it in brass and any polished nickel. I think mine's polished nickel, a squeegee, a nice squeegee. After you shower, just take it literally. I don't think it takes me a minute. Especially if you get a wider squeegee, just go down the sides of the inside where it gets wet of the marble, where the water's not sitting on it. Because over time, if water sits on any natural stone, or actually if it sits on any stone, the grout over time is going to mold. So I don't have any problem at all, nor does Zane, just wiping that down. And then if you want to, if you've got a towel there, you can even, dry it with a towel. So easy. And then every 2 weeks, Maria just cleans it with some sort of, I think, gentle cleanser, and it just looks beautiful. So that's as far as the cleaning. Okay, so I've almost wrapped this up, but I want to give y'all a tip. And I have had so many people say they love this tip and they're going to remember it. If you are getting marble or quartzite or even quartz, whatever stone you get the fabricator to cut a cutting board out of that and get the same finish that you have on your kitchen, but get them to cut a cutting board. And then when you get it, put felt on the bottom and you can slide it around, but it just blends in perfectly with your kitchen counter. I got one that is, I believe it's a 12 by 24. It's very large, and I will say it's very heavy. Now I can lift it, but it's very heavy, but it's big. And what I do, I got big felt pads and I put it on the bottom and I slide that around and I use that as my cutting board. And I promise you, I cut lemons. I cut directly on it. I cut lemons. I do everything directly on it. I wanted to do that for 2 reasons. Number one, because it just blends in so well. Number two, I want to see how my marble, given no babying at all, how it does being directly impacted every day by food and not, protected like my other marble where I'm, immediately address any stain. And guys, so far it looks fabulous. So that is a good recommendation. Use your scraps and get you a beautiful, and actually I got 2. I got a very big one and then I got a little bit smaller one, because if you have an island, you can use the bigger one place. I use the bigger one on my island because that's where I do my prep. and I use the smaller one. I have it by the sink. So it just blends in. It's so pretty. Okay. So guys, that is all I guess I have today to share about marble and about my particular choices. Always, always, always feel free to send questions. I love hearing from you all. You can best reach me with questions by email, jamie@familysavvy.com. And if you're not already, please follow me on Instagram and follow Family Savvy, subscribe to my newsletter to just keep up with the latest, because I love to share all the savvy tips that I learned from others with you. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. And until next time, you have a fabulous rest of your day.